Okay, here it is, the Taigen Tiger Tank, which I would call version 2. There's a few improvements that's been made on it on the original one that came out in the early part of 2011. I bought this tank from NITROTEK, who provided an excellent service. What I'll do to start with, I'll start it up, show you how it works, and then talk about it in a bit more detail. Okay, so let's turn the tank on. It's under this metal hatch. Right, start her up. Smoke unit comes in. It's a standard smoke unit, not a non-proportional. As you can see, I'll just do some machine gun fire. Little red machine gun there at the front, and also BB fire with recoil. There you go. If you come a bit closer, on this particular tank, the smoke unit's very good actually, although I did have to make some slight modification to get the smoke to come out from both exhausts. What tends to happen is the smoke comes out of one pipe, the one that's directly in line with the smoke unit. So what I did, I used a cable tie to restrict the aperture off the pipe, so that it forced the smoke to come out of both pipes. As you can see, she's smoking quite well, which is nice to see for a change. Right, okay, so a little bit about the tank. I'll just turn it off. Okay, right, well it's a very heavy tank. Approximately in the box weighs about 7 kilos. Compared to the other Taigen Panzer, it's probably near on twice as heavy as the other tank. Very well built, good paint job on it. Quite a few of the items on the tank are metal, but there are some items which you would think is metal, but they're not. So the armour, for example, these are metal. The hatch, that's metal. That one over there is metal as well. I'll tell you what's not metal, the gun. It looks metal, but what's not metal is these tow ropes. They actually are all plastic, same as the pipe cleaners and the clips. It's all plastic, not metal. Not sure if the wheels are metal, because I haven't scraped the paint off to find out, but they may well be. I'm not sure about that one. Painted commander, as they say. Well, it's alright, I suppose. He's partly painted, not that well, but it's good enough for what it is. Here we have plastic hatches. So the tank itself, if you look on the bottom, it's predominantly metal, but there are some components which are not. You can actually buy these tow ropes on eBay, which are actually metal and to scale. The tank does come with like a brass metal tow ropes, but it's not into scale with the tank at all. So really, it's a bit useless. They won't even fit onto these the shackles here. So I'm not even sure if these shackles they feel like plastic to me. So they may not be metal. If you look underneath the tank, you can see it's got a metal frame bodied, and it is, believe me, very heavy. It manoeuvres like a tank should manoeuvre in terms of its weight and speed. The problem I had inside the tank, two problems I had initially. One was the turret was very loose, and when you turned it 90 degrees, it stopped working because the teeth didn't catch onto the motor winder. So what I had to do was, the best way I found around it was just to take up the slack in the turret, and all you do basically is remove this ring, cut a length of cable tie, thin white cable tie, super glue it to the inside of the aperture, and put the drive cog back on, and that takes up the slack. You still need to leave space around the cog because it actually sits in the aperture. But that solved the problem for me. Also, you'll see that if you look over here, that here we have the cable tie that I've put on the exhaust pipe, because originally the exhaust smoke was only coming out this pipe. So what I did, I put the cable tie on here to restrict the aperture, and it now forces the smoke out the other pipe as well. So they smoke quite well. You've got a volume control switch, which is also inside the tank. And what I do with all my tanks now, I actually grease up all the cogs. Here I've used a lithium grease to reduce the wear and tear on the motors, well, on the actual gearboxes. These gearboxes they're just soft metal gearboxes, are not hardened steel, so you know, no doubt they will wear, especially with a tank of this weight. But again, does the job lovely, runs quite well. Okay, so with this type of tank also, with this particular model, we have got BB fire with recoil, which the previous tank did not have. The first release of this tank didn't have that, as you can see in my other videos. But overall, she's a lovely tank. Very good paint job. Yeah, you've got to do a bit of tank maintenance on it now and then, which most hobbyists enjoy doing anyway. But well worth the money. Much better than the other Heng Long tanks that I own, and even better than the Taigen Panzer, which is predominantly plastic. So yeah, well worth the money. And again, I bought this from NITROTEK, because they do a fair price. They're a fair price, and the customer service from NITROTEK is excellent. So just show you once again, give it a start up. That's it. You can upgrade the motor to a proportional motor, but then you'll probably have less smoke coming out anyway. So I'm quite happy to keep the standard smoke unit in there. Let's have a look now. Let's have a look. See, the turret moves quite smoothly now. If I've packed it out, there's no slack. Machine gun fire, which is just there. If you see it just there, the machine gun. Cannon fire with recoil, and BB fire with recoil. Lovely. That smoke unit working quite well now, coming out of both exhaust pipes. Like I say, the best way to do that was to restrict the aperture of one of the pipes so it filters out of both pipes. But lovely. It's nice to see a smoke unit actually working for once, and to be working this well is a bonus for me. Okay, thank you very much.